Hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel and welcome to another weekly reading vlog. So today is Monday, September 23rd and my allergies are kicking my ass. I woke up today, like right now it's 10:42 p.m. But I woke up today and I couldn't stop sneezing. I couldn't stop blowing my nose. I got up and I wouldn't stop sneezing. I needed to pee and I couldn't go pee because I couldn't stop sneezing. I didn't want to take my very strong antihistaminics because I've been taking them a lot. My allergies have been so bad and I've been taking them a lot and they're not supposed to be taken every week because it's supposed to be just when you're feeling really bad, but I've been feeling really bad with allergies very often, so I've been taking them a lot and I took them last week, also started on Monday, I'm pretty sure. So I just put them in my backpack and I was like, if I don't get better throughout the day, I'll just take one. So I did not get better, so I did take one at 2-ish and I did get better. This is me better because right now I'm not sneezing constantly. I am still blowing my nose all the time, but I'm not sneezing constantly. So I am better, but I'm not good. But anyway, that's not what you're here for. I'm just explaining my voice, I guess. But in terms of books, which is the whole point of this video, I am 52 pages into The Evocations, which is a fantasy horror book. And it's actually one of my anticipated releases for this year, but it came out in January and I'm only now reading it because I have barely read any of my anticipated releases because I feel since I'm anticipating them, I expect them to be good, but I'm afraid they won't be, or I won't like them, so I'm kind of procrastinating, but I am deciding to finally read my anticipated releases, and this is the one I am starting with. And yeah, I read the first 52 pages last night and I am already obsessed with this book, so very excited to continue with this one. And then I want to start Those Empty Eyes, I think is the title, for my thriller video, because also I am supposed to read that book for a reading challenge, so it fits perfectly because it's also a thriller, so I want to read that. And then I think I'm still gonna need to read another book for the thriller video, so I might read One by One, which is right there, but it has cookie boxes on top of it, so I don't want to pick that up right now. But it's also obviously a thriller and it's the 5th, I think, book in the Robert Hunter series. So if I do finish Those Empty Eyes and still have time to start that, then I will also start and read as much of that as I can. And I would also ideally like to start reading another fantasy book, but I don't know how realistic that is, so I'm not even gonna mention it because sometimes I have very ambitious goals and I talk about books that I don't even end up starting for weeks or months. So for now, these are the reading plans, and this week I also have classes just like last week, and it's not fun because this is supposed to be the first class of the PhD program, but since I started in January, I started with the classes of the second semester, and I'm doing the first semester now after I did the second semester, you know what I mean? So this is supposed to be the first class, so it's supposed to be the easiest, as in the most basic concepts, as in things I already learned. Honestly, a lot of it, especially the first class, I've learned that in high school, I've learned that in my bachelor's, I've learned that in my master's, and I'm learning it again, and I'm just I know these things. And one of the professors, I don't know if it was in the first class or the second, but they were and these concepts will be useful for classes that you will have later on in the second semester, and I was I already had them. So not loving it, and especially today, since I took my antihistaminics and that makes you sleepy, I was almost falling asleep in my class. Not just because I already knew most of what the professor was talking about and was kind of bored, and also because it was after a day of work and I was tired. It was also because I was so sleepy from my meds. It was a struggle, but we persevered and survived. But I do have classes all week, and I also do have to be at the biobank on Friday. But that is still like a long way away. And I don't think I have anything else going on, honestly. That's it. I mean, I do need to prepare like a presentation because for this class we have an exam like next week on Friday, but we also have to do a like group presentation either on Monday or Tuesday. I think we are going to present on Tuesday because one of the members of our group cannot present on Monday, so we are probably going to present like next Tuesday. And yeah, we need to prepare that at some point. So yeah, I think that is everything that I had to say in this intro. I can't remember of anything else that's going on or that's gonna happen. I mean, I have to like teach things. I hate teaching, and I'm also like not very good at it. Like today I taught some things in the cell culture and also like how to quantify proteins. And tomorrow when I have to, I mean tomorrow and Wednesday, because it's like a 2-day protocol, and I also have to teach like a Western blot, which I don't love for me. I don't like teaching, and like I said, I'm not good at it either. So it's a lose-lose situation, like for me and for who's learning from me. You know what I mean? But I'm the only one like doing these experiments right now. So it definitely has to be me. Also, I mentioned in last week's vlog, I think that like one of my boxes with like my samples went missing, like my box and 4 other boxes still missing. And I also had samples there from like one of my colleagues, and today she was like, so where are my proteins exactly? And I was like, well, I would love to know that. So that's super fun. She needs her proteins, I need my proteins, and our proteins are nowhere to be found. But anyway, now I'm gonna actually shut up and welcome to the vlog. Hello, it is Thursday. Actually, I was gonna update you last night, but suddenly when I realized it was like 1 a.m. and I was like, I need to actually go to sleep. So I'm here today, and actually I have a lot of reading updates because I have finished a book, I have read a whole other book, and I have read like 60% of another book. And so the first book, which is the one that I was already reading in the beginning of the week, is The Invocations. And I loved this book so much. Like, this was one of my anticipated releases that came out in January, and for some reason I hadn't read yet. And, you know, I finally decided to read it, and honestly, I don't know why it took me so long to read it, but I loved it so much. And this was like a fantasy horror, and we were following 3 characters, 3 girls. We had Emmer, Jude, and Zara. And Emmer was a witch, and maybe I should start with the other characters. So Jude was cursed because she was like linked, connected to, possessed kind of in a way by a demon, and the demon like was killing her soul and like killing her body as well. Like her body was decaying, literally, like she was basically rotting, and everything around her was as well. And so she was trying to find a witch that could help her situation. And then we had Zara, whose sister had died, and she was trying to bring her sister back to life. And she was like studying necromancy and like studying the occult, and she, also could use a witch. And then we had Emmer, who was a witch, and they like their paths all connect. And Emmer, like they want Emmer's help because they think that she has magic, she can help them. And then Emmer realizes that like there are a lot of women who have been killed recently, and they were actually all Emmer's clients. And so they are, together trying to figure out like who is killing those women and why. And I loved this book so much. Like I loved the vibe. It was very creepy, very disgusting, very witchy, and also kind of funny at times. And I also really, really loved the characters. And shockingly, like there was a romance subplot, and I actually liked it. And I almost never like romance. So I literally loved everything about this book. Like it was so like my thing. It perfectly worked for me. Like I loved everything about it. I am giving it 5 stars, and yeah, it was so good. I absolutely loved it. And now I think I need to read I've only heard of another book from this author, which is the one that's here in the back, House of Hollow. But there are, I think, like 3 books in the list of like other works. But I have definitely heard of this one, so I definitely want to read that because I love everything about this book. And then I read Those Empty Eyes, which was a mystery thriller. And that one, like, I didn't know anything going into it. This one obviously was one of my anticipated releases, so like I knew the premise. Those Empty Eyes, I knew nothing about it, but I've been filming a video like with thrillers for some time, and that was for that video. And like I had read other books from that author previously and like really liked them, so that is why I decided to read that book. And in that one we were following a girl called Alex, and in the start of the book, like there is an attack at her house and her family is killed, and I think she was like about to turn 18, and like her parents and her little brother, they are all killed, and she manages to like hide and survive. But then people like think that she was actually the killer, and so not only like did she lose her entire family, she was also, seen as a killer, and like people hated her, and so her life was destroyed. And even though it was proved that she was innocent, people still like treated her terribly and like stalked her and everything. And we then fast forward like 10 years, because before, like first there was like a 2-year time skip in which she was like trying to figure out who had actually attacked her family. But then we also like move forward 10 years, and 10 years from like the beginning, so like 8 years after that first time skip, and things like were very different in that time. Like she was still investigating, but there was a whole other case, because there was a college student, like she had I think it was a podcast, and she was about to like release a story about sexual abuse and in her university, and she was killed, and her boyfriend was the main suspect, but Alex didn't believe he was guilty, and so she was like trying to prove that he was innocent. And then she found that like there might have been connections to her family's murder, and she was like investigating that. And for like the longest time, we were almost like halfway through the book, and I was like, what even is happening? Like, what are we doing here? Because it started off as one thing and then like completely shifted, but it hadn't like gotten anywhere else yet. We were just there, like living life, and I was like, what is happening? Like, what are we doing here? So I didn't love that one. I like, it was okay, but I definitely didn't love it. Like, I was definitely expecting to. I did like the final plot twist at the very end of the book. I did really like that. I did not see that coming, and I did really like that. But throughout the rest of the book, I was just like, it's okay, I guess. Like, I'm not hating it. I'm not loving it. It was fine. I was a bit bored for a while. I was very confused with, like, even the direction of the story, with the plot, like what we were doing. But it was okay. I think I'm gonna give it 3 stars probably. And that was that. And now I am on page 268, chapter 78 of One by One, which is book 5, I think. I hate that series. Like, they don't have the number of the book in the series. You know what I mean? I hate that. Like, most series don't have that. Like, one series that does have that is The Expanse, which I really appreciated. And like, now the new series by those authors also has, because I have the first book that just came out, and it has a 1 on the spine, and I love that. But anyway, that has nothing to do with anything. One by One is the 5th book in the Robert Hunter series, which is also mystery thriller, and we're following Robert Hunter, who is a detective. And these books are always very gruesome, very violent, very traumatizing, and this one is no exception. I think this one might be possibly the most horrifying, even though they all are. But this one, there's something about it that's very horrifying. And I am this much in. I started this book today. So there's that. And I think it's like 60 something percent. And in this book, like at the start, Hunter gets a phone call from a guy that's like, I think he sends him a link to a broadcast where there's a person, and the guy that called him is like, choose the way that person's gonna die, by drowning or by burning. And he's like, what the fuck is going on? And so, that happens. He is forced to choose, because he said, like, if you don't choose, I'll choose. Like, he's gonna die anyway. And then he chooses, and then he actually decides to go with something way worse than either of those possibilities. And like, both of those possibilities were horrible, obviously, and he does actually something even worse. And now that guy has, escalated, and now he has like an actual website for everyone to see, like, people dying, and he lets people, like anyone, vote on, like, he has 2 options for like the people to die, and he has people vote on them. And very graphic, very gory, and there have already been some like moments where I was stressed out. There have been some moments where I was creeped out, and that is exactly what I was wanting and expecting from this book. So I'm not gonna say I'm having, a great time, because it's horrifying, but I'm loving the book. It's exactly what I was wanting from it. So yeah, I don't know what that says about me. I'm always like, what do I say when I'm loving a book that is like this, But like, I am. That's what I wanted from it. And I'm stressed out. I am intrigued, because they're like trying to investigate the victims to see if there is like any connection, or if the guy is just choosing random people. And so far they haven't found anything. So I'm very curious to see where that's going. Also, we have like a new character that's like helping with the investigation, and I also do really like that character, and I really like Hunter and Garcia, like his partner. So yeah, it's going great. And yeah, that is what I have read so far. And in terms of my life outside of reading, I'm still having classes after work, which sucks. Honestly, on Tuesday I actually skipped class, because it was about something that like I do in the lab. I mean, a lot of them are. And I was like, I'm so tired. I can't do this anymore. And I was like texting my friend as I was leaving. And like, I either continued going straight towards a place where I was going to have class, like leaving work. I either continued straight towards a place where I was having class, or I could, turn. And my friend who I was talking to, she works like 10 to 15 minutes away from where I work. And she was like, well, just come here. Let's just have coffee here. And I was like, well, okay. So I just turned and I went to meet her there. And actually, it was like the fire drill at the place where she works. So I guess we saw that. Very random, I know. And like, did I stay there for almost as long as like my class was? Yes. But at least I was having fun, with my friend. Yeah, yesterday, like I said, I was gonna update you, but I don't know, like I wasn't even like as tired because I guess since I skipped class on Tuesday, like yesterday, I wasn't as tired. But somehow like time just got away from me and it was like literally 1 a.m. when I realized, and I was like, I should probably go to sleep. And today I did have class and I did go to class, and I also had like the group meeting. Also, like I brought some phone cases because like the one I was using broke, and instead of buying one to replace it, I bought 3. Keeping in mind that I had other 2, like I had 2 phone cases. And I got a text in the morning saying that like they were gonna arrive today, and usually like when they arrive, like they call me. And I always say, well, I'm not home, I'm at work. And then they just leave the package at the post office. But today they called me and I was like, I'm at work. And they were like, and don't you have anyone who can keep the package? And I was like, no. And I was like, don't you really? And I'm like, well, you can like just leave it in my neighbor's cafe, which is like the door, like next door. And I was like, okay. I'm like, what even is happening? Yeah, he didn't even like give me the option of like just leaving the thing at the post office, which was weird. But yeah, but when I got home, like after class, it was already it was late. So I guess I'm gonna get my phone cases tomorrow morning before going to work. But that was very random. But anyway, I think that is everything that has happened. This is not a very exciting week for me. Have a lot of work, a lot of classes, a lot of things to do. But I also have been reading a lot, which I am very happy with, especially because like I had a 5-star book and also loving this one. And well, the other one was 3 stars, but at least I didn't hate it. Like it was still an okay book. And yeah, tomorrow I am gonna go back home to like my parents. And actually, like when I get to my kind of hometown, I mean the city next to my hometown, I'm actually gonna go like have dinner with my mom and some people she works with, because she's gonna be at a work thing, but like families are allowed to go, so my dad and I are gonna join, I guess. Am I gonna be absolutely dead? Yes, because I'm gonna work. I'm actually gonna have like 2 shifts at the biobank, so like I'm gonna be at the biobank pretty much all day. I have class, I have a train ride there. So am I gonna be feeling like a zombie? Absolutely. Am I still gonna go there to eat? Also yes. And yeah, I think that's everything. I will probably talk to you on Saturday, and I will also probably film like an intro and outro for another video on Saturday. And by that time I will probably have finished this. I mean, that's kind of for the video that I'm gonna film, so I have to have finished this. I will probably have started something else. I think like another fantasy book, probably. I mean, I might one. That's probably gonna be the one. It's there already, ready to go. But yeah, I will talk to you over the weekend. Hello, it is Saturday, and I don't have like a lot of reading updates, but I do have some reading updates, and I finished One by One, which I think was the only book I was reading already, like at the time I talked to you. Pretty sure, or was like gonna start it. No, I think I did. I had already started it, because I know I had talked about this book, and I finished it last night, and I really, really liked it. It was definitely very gruesome, very violent. I think I've already said this, but it was exactly like what I wanted from this book. And it definitely delivered, absolutely. And yeah, it was very creepy at times, very stressful, very thrilling. And I did really like the reveal as well. Like, I didn't see it coming. And yeah, I thought it was great. I absolutely loved it. I think I'm gonna give it like 4.5 stars because it just didn't give me, the feeling, the 5-star feeling. But other than that, like, I absolutely loved it. It was so good in a very disturbing way. And like, if you like, gory, violent, kind of disturbing things, I definitely recommend. If you don't, I definitely do not recommend. But yeah, I loved it. And I think I said that I want to start a fantasy book that I already had, there waiting for me. And that is Fool's Errand, which is the first book in the Tawny Man trilogy and the 7th in the Realm of the Elderlings series, Worlds, whatever. I have been wanting to start this book for so long. I have had it for a while as well, like the whole trilogy. And I think I'm finally gonna start it. Is it intimidating? Yes, especially because the font is tiny as hell. But I am excited. I do really like this series. It's not like the Realm of the Elderling series. It's not like a whole-time favorite series, at least yet, because it's a little like too slow for me. I like, action, and these books tend to be like a little slow, but I still do really, really enjoy them, and I am very curious to see where this story and these stories keep going. So yeah, I do think I am going to start this either today or tomorrow, because today I have so much to do and I haven't started anything, and like I'm gonna have dinner with some friends, so there's that. But I do have to start studying for my exam next week at some point, and I also do have to start my presentation that I'm gonna have on Tuesday. So there's that. But I also do want to start. I mean, I would much rather just start this book than do any of those other things. But yeah, definitely will start it over the weekend. And I did get my phone cases. I think I said that like they had been left with my neighbor. I got them yesterday morning before going to work. And I'm gonna show them to you because like the one that broke was of Iron Man, so I definitely obviously got another one of like Iron Man to replace it. The other one did not look like this, but it was of Iron Man, and this one is also of Iron Man. And I actually didn't know that it was like kind of transparent because in the website it looked black, so I thought it was gonna be black. But my phone is black, so like it's still gonna look black. But yeah, looks like this, and I really love it. Then we have this cat because I love cats, and I thought it was really, really, really cute. So that's the second. And the third one is of Stitch. It also has like, I thought the Iron Man one was like this, black but still with those black designs. It isn't, but I think it's gonna look the same because like I said, my phone is black. But yeah, also got this one, and I am in love with all three of them. I just don't have them on my phone yet because I just wanted to show them all like, empty. And like I said, I have a lot to do, and I'm still so tired because last night I was, like kind of socializing until 12:30 a.m. and that took everything out of me. And like after work and classes and a train ride and everything, I was very tired. And then I came home and still finished my book. So I am tired, and I'm still tired today. Like I woke up fine, but now also because I was in the car like coming back home today because like we went out and came back, and like on the way back in the car I just got so sleepy. Like I was almost falling asleep in the car. So now I am very, very, very sleepy. But I do have things to do. Other than like the work I mentioned, I also have other things that I need to do. I actually have an appointment at 4, which is in like half an hour probably. So I also do need to do that. And yeah, I think that is everything that I had to update on, which isn't much. I also just filmed my intro and outro for my thriller video that I finally finished, and I do need to edit that as well and like do the thumbnail and do all the things for tomorrow. So, just another thing for me to do. And yeah, I think that's everything that I had to say. So yeah, gonna read this. Hopefully I will have made a good amount of progress, I hope. And I will probably talk to you on Monday to wrap up the vlog. Hello, it is Monday and I'm here to wrap up this vlog, and I did start Fool's Errand and I got to page 106, and like not a lot is happening. I think I mentioned that these books are usually, or I mean the ones that I read are like slow paced, and that's not always my favorite kind of pacing, but I do still really like the magic and the world and the characters and the story, so I do still end up enjoying them, but they're not like 5 stars, and this one is like no exception. Like not a lot has happened yet, but also I've only read 100 pages, but yeah, not a lot is happening, but I'm liking it because we are following the main character from the first trilogy in this world. And I already know the character, I'm already like connected to him, I already care about him, and we are following him, seeing what he's been up to since the end of the first trilogy. And people are like coming back into his life, and I think he's gonna go back to like the chaos that he was in his other books. And yeah, not a lot has happened, but I am definitely enjoying to be back in this world and with these characters, and I'm excited to see where it goes. But that is all that I read, because I think I said that I was gonna have dinner with my friends on Saturday, and I did, and we ended up staying out until like midnight, I think. And then on Sunday I also like had a lot of things to do, and I had to like prepare a presentation and do a lot of things, so I didn't have that much time to read. And also like I actually read way more this week than I expected, because I finished the Invocations, I read Those Empty Eyes, I read One by One, and I started Fool's Errand, and that was 1,213 pages, which is like way more than I was anticipating. So I am very, very happy with how much I read. I don't know how I read that much, especially because like I had classes and work and everything, and somehow I read all that. No idea how that happened, but I'm very happy. And yeah, I think that is everything for this weekly reading vlog. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you have enjoyed it. And if you did, give it a like and subscribe, and I will talk to you next time. Bye!